én ezt tudom csinálni, hogy le van zárva, én itt tökölök. És akkor ezt már elindítom, így a zsebbe megállítom, és akkor amikor a zseb fölmegy az ovicsab oda, az már kinyitom, és akkor látják a felmet. És amikor elkezd beszélni, de hogy tűnik a heret? Mikor elindítom?
This mic on the back, can you turn the mic down just a tad bit on this one?
Oké, jó.
What about the mic here?
Lift it up if you need to.
Igen, neki kell gyakorolni.
One, two. Is this working or not? It's not working.
Saját idejében is így.
És ezt valaki kipróbálta már?
Nem tudom.
Ezt ki kezeli?
Perfect. Volume's good here, Amelia? That's fine, okay. Mic check. How's the volume on this one?
Fogalmam is. Nem találtam meg. Lehet, hogy ezt ő onnan kontrollálja.
Check 1, 2, 1, 2.
Tehát ez nem működik, és ezt használják?
Fogalmam sem.
Vajgodnak azt tudjuk, hogy utána klikkelek, és akkor ez menne, utána kicsinálom a szénbe. Nagyon szép. De hát, hogy szia, igen, de akkor neked itt még kell állítani. Itt nem csinál semmit. Jaj, oké, szuper. Igen, akkor ezt igen, erre gondoltam én is. A videó, igen, azokat lépnek el. Igen.
It is not on. Do you want it on?
De az, hogy ez egy
There it is.
hát, hogy hogyan megyek tovább a következő. Ez mit van? Tehát elindítom, te azt, hogy elindítom az úrcsor.
One, two. That's good.
Igen? Oké? Kirakom. Igen, és akkor nyitom, igen, és akkor kinyitom, és amikor én, akkor csak space. És csak az is. Jó. Oké. És hogyha esetleg a csepp, mit tudom én, összeizé elcsinálom, meg akár ugyanúgy leállítom, és akkor jó, akkor még több az kontrollt közben a space-szel. És akkor, hogyha közel van, az ezt így, hogyha ezt a vagyok ugyanjól. Minden lényeg az, hogyha meg kell csuknom, azon nem aggódom. Azon még közelebb, hogy nekem kell valami, odaül, hogyha ezt a végig összelemhetják el.
Thank you.
Itt van egy szoba, és én odaadtam nekik a schedule-t, mondtam, hogy az obituary, hogy irattam a vége, akkor kezdjék az állat. Nem, a és mondtam, hogy én elveszem ezeket, tehát ne aggódjak. Ja, ne törődjél vele. Nem tudom, elindítottam azért YouTube-ot. Ez a retrorádió.
Testing.
Még mindegy. Vagy mi az? Jó. Igen.
Can you hear me? Hey Val, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me, Val? Val, can you hear me?
Recording with it, the back of the camera, everything goes fine. I don't need to work it. I need to trigger.
De figyelj, akarod, mert nem tudtam, hogy nem akarod már megszabadni ezekre a főleg jelenlegek. Just because you know she's off the beach, hey beach, you don't have to touch her. De figyelj, ezt is tudom, hogy kézbakod esetleg lenni. Figyelj akkor, az az eredeti, az is elhoztam. Vagy ezt az évárat csinálni. Hol Jack? Hol Jack? So make sure nobody is hitting this table because this is perfectly aligned. If somebody hit it, we're gonna mess up the whole thing. So that's your job to make sure nobody's pushing anything.
Like if this starts here, just come on. Okay. Sorry.
That's why I done the two rows. Every job, you have to. You don't need it.
It's good.
I have people. You want to
She's good.
You good? Okay.
Maybe I just keep it here.
Well, we can get it right. I can't do exactly
Négykor jönnek, mondtam, hogy 4-kor bejönnek az
Check, check. Check, check. Nothing.
Yeah, it's just not.
Yep.
Use that one.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kimia Penton. I'm a colleague and my dear friend Zoltan, who we're here to honor from PMI Dallas chapter. Thank you all for being here today to honor his memory, to pay your respects, to celebrate his life and legacy. We're going to start the program with an original song of mine that Zoltan and I enjoyed sharing about living with authenticity. Anybody who knew him knew he embodied that. So we'll begin with that, and then there's a carefully planned program to celebrate his life. Thank you for being with us.
See the brokenness in your eyes, same been haunting me 100 times. Tempted to run and rescue you, but I know how this ends every time I try. Like a sculptor, they try to mold me, pick up the pieces, they don't wanna hold me. I'm not a chameleon, not gonna change my skin, happy with who I am, don't wanna just blend in. I'm not a chameleon, not gonna change my skin, happy with who I am, don't wanna just blend in. I'm not a chameleon. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I used to try to be the antidote, I solve the problems I don't even know. But then I learned that love is letting go, and I won't take somebody, take my soul. Like a sculptor, they try to mold me, pick up the pieces, they don't wanna hold me. I'm not a chameleon, not gonna change my skin, happy with who I am, don't wanna just blend in. I'm not a chameleon, not gonna change my skin, happy with who I am, don't wanna just blend in. I'm not a chameleon, not gonna change my skin, happy with who I am, don't wanna just blend in. I'm not a chameleon.
I'm going to read through the program. Zoltan Cserni was born on April 27th, 1976. Oh, I'm sorry. The slideshow. This is going to be perfectly timed with the slideshow.
I'm sorry.
I can't really see it. It's going? Okay. Zoltan Cserni was born on April 27, 1976, in Katsel, Hungary. He completed his elementary education in Katsel and his secondary schooling at 3rd Beja in Boyo. He went on to earn a bachelor's degree in engineering with a minor in logistics from Cserni István University in Greer, followed by a master's degree from Cornelius University in Budapest. Zoltan began his lifelong professional career with Nokia in Budapest in 1999. And over the years, his work took him to Florida, Georgia, and finally Texas, where he held several leadership positions. Known for his dedication and high standards, he approached every position with unwavering commitment. On April 27, 2002, Zoltan married his high school sweetheart, Kata Nirgyesh. Together, they built a beautiful life and blessed with 2 children, Ardo and Binde. Zoltan was the ultimate family man. He cherished every moment spent with his loved ones, whether on family hikes, days at the lake, or during their travels together all over the world. His home was always filled with love, laughter, and the quiet joy of simply being together. Beyond shared adventures, Zoltan poured himself into raising his sons with intention and care. He taught his boys practical life skills like changing oil in vehicles and regularly guided them in the realities of business and budgeting through monthly family budget meetings. With patience and wisdom, he instilled in them a deep appreciation for their Hungarian roots while encouraging them to remain open-minded and caring toward others. These moments of teaching and togetherness were among the greatest expressions of his love. Zoltan was an unapologetic perfectionist who gave 100% to everything he did. More than that, he possessed a servant's heart and a genuine passion for helping others. For 4 years, he volunteered as Vice President of Finance on the board of the Project Management Institute Dallas chapter. His contributions left a lasting mark on the organization and the community. In recognition of his impact, the annual Student Scholarship has been named in his honor, the Zoltan Cserni Student Scholarship Award, celebrating excellence in project management, integrity, and service. This scholarship will carry forward his legacy of community, generosity, and excellence for years to come. Zoltan will be remembered for his dedication to leadership development and his unwavering commitment to helping others grow. In 2016, he proudly completed the Leadership Education and Attitude Program, LEAP, becoming an alumnus of the program and continuing his journey as a lifelong learner and leader. From 2017 through 19, Zoltan gave back to the LEAP program or community by volunteering as a leadership assignment coach. In his role, he exemplified his passion for mentoring and coaching experienced leaders with a particular focus on the development of essential soft skills. His guidance, encouragement, and belief in others left a lasting impact on those he coached. Zoltan's legacy lives on through the leaders he inspired, the confidence he helped build, and the values of empathy, growth, and service that he so clearly embodied. When some people talk about character, Zoltan lived it. Many have said he truly exemplifies what it means to be a person of integrity. He showed us that lots of flowery words are not what define you, and how you carry yourself and how you treat others mean far more. Zoltan didn't have to say much. He listened. He cared deeply. His gentle smile and simple acknowledgement of you made you feel truly seen, and when he did speak, his words carried weight, and people wanted to listen. Zoltan is survived by his beloved wife Kata, his children Ardo and Binde, his father Zoltan Cserni, his mother Eva Morvai, and his brother Tomasz. He's also survived by Kata's family and his own extended family who shared in his life and now mourn his passing. Though his time with us was cut short, Zoltan leaves behind a legacy of love, quiet strength, and selfless service that will continue to inspire all who knew him. He will be deeply missed, but forever remembered in the hearts of his family, friends, and everyone whose life he touched.
Hello everyone, my name is Ardo. I am the eldest son of Zoltan Cserni. And beside me here, behind the picture here, is Benda, my younger brother. He's a rascal. I wrote a little about my dad, and I'd like to share it with you all. When many of you hear the name Superman, you'd probably imagine a tall, muscular figure in red spandex and a cape flying around to save the world. Not for me. I see a stubby-legged man with an infecting smile and unconditional love. His name isn't Clark Kent, it's Zoltan Cserni. Though he doesn't have ice breath, his words can cool you down. He may not have super strength, yet he finds a way to lift you up. He doesn't have x-ray vision, but he understands your soul. Zoltan isn't just an amazing project manager. He is a cherished son, a loyal friend, a patient mentor, an eager student, a caring father, an affectionate husband. But most importantly, he is an incredible human. I and my brother Benda have been blessed with the opportunity to not only be raised by him, but to see him grow into something great. His yearning to cultivate more, not just in himself, but also the people around him, has given him an ability to leap past norms. His constant dedication to embed in his loved ones the lessons he learned enables him to be a better man day after day, compounding his efforts. Zoltan has the ability to make every trip into an adventure, every chore into a lesson, every minute spent together a joy. He truly does bring the most out of every moment he can, sometimes grumbling to us how difficult it is to plan such a trip. Zoltan is very conscious about his time, planning out whole summers, winters, and spring breaks full of activities and everlasting memories. His ability not only to organize these trips, but also to have time to volunteer, work, and be a family man always mystified me. Zoltan is someone you can confide in, not only because he listens, but because he is always true to himself, honest of his feelings and opinions. While sometimes they are quite blunt, sometimes, I constantly come to the conclusion that he is right. In my eyes, Zoltan is the definition of a human. To give your best in everything you do, truly grant all of you to a cause, something that you know is worthwhile. That is Zoltan. His unconditional devotion, not only to his family, but to each and everything he set forward to do. Zoltan doesn't half-ass anything. He works his hardest to give it everything. That's what I believe it means to be human. To truly spend every ounce of energy in the pursuit of something greater. I'd say he succeeded. Whether it's philosophy, traveling, good habits, or his opinion on a book, Zoltan always has a thought on his mind that he loves to share with the world. The reason why I'm not talking about Zoltan in the past tense today is because I believe that in each of his interactions with the people here, he imprinted a bit of his soul into you. And us all being here together again brings that soul back to life. My father has given me a beautiful lesson that tomorrow is not granted, so make the most of every moment. Thank you, Dad. Thank you.
Szeretnénk bemutatkozni,
They want to introduce themselves.
hogy ő az édesapa, az édesanyja.
Father and mother of Zoltan.
Nagyon szerettem volna sétás nélkül.
Try to do it without crying.
De úgy látom, nem sikerül, úgyhogy elnézést kérek.
She's sorry that she can't do it without crying.
Szeretnénk megköszönni először is, hogy ilyen sokan eljöttek a fiunk temetésére.
We want to say thank you for everyone who is here.
Köszönjük, hogy megadták ezt a tiszteletet, és érezzük, hogy szerették őt.
They feel like all of you love Zoltan very much.
Két nagyon fontos dolgot még szeretnék mondani, hogy
She would like to do two more important things.
nincs harag és hála, vagy harag és méreg, a gyűlölet a szívünkben, avval a fiatal emberrel, aki ezt a tragédiát okozta.
She don't have any anger and she forgive to the person who caused this accident and tragedy.
Nagyon sajnáljuk a fiatal embert és a családját is.
They really feel sorry for this young 17 years old boy.
Kívánom, hogy ő is találja meg a megnyugvást, és az életét próbálja boldogan leélni.
They wish for them the best and to live his life to the fullest and try to forgive and put behind what happened.
A másik, amit szeretnék, hogy ez a nagy tragédia, ami nekünk nagyon fájdalmas,
This tragedy is very painful for them, for everyone.
mégis öröm számunkra, hogy ennyi családon tudott segíteni.
But they very happy that everyone here and everybody was able to help.
És ennyi családnak reményt és boldogságot tudott adni.
And you gave hope and happiness for the family.
És kívánom a családoknak, hogy ugyan nem ismerték a Zoltánt, de legyenek olyan jó emberek az életben, próbálják meg, úgy, mint a fiam is tette.
And wish everyone be as good as Zoltan was for them.
Mi a férjemmel nagyon hálásak vagyunk azért, hogy a Jóisten hozzánk küldte, és a mi fiunk lehetett.
They say thank you for God giving them Zoltan in their life.
És hálásak vagyunk azért a 49 szép évért, amit együtt tudtunk tölteni.
And they appreciate the 49 years together with Zoltan.
És megkérnélek tudom, hogy ez egy nehezebb feladat, amit most kérek tőled, de én azért szeretnék egy verset fölolvasni.
She would like to recite the poem.
Igaz, hogy ugye magyarul van, és a fordítás az...
In Hungarian. I think I'm not going to translate. Please,
Az mégsem...
we're going to have a poem in English later, so I think this is perfect. Let's do it in Hungarian, and we have one later.
Ja, bocsánat, nem is látod.
Lesz később egy angol vers, úgyhogy ez nagyon jó, ez maradjon így magyarul.
Maradjon.
És én nem fordítom ezt.
Okay.
Jó?
De akkor nem értik.
No,
és az más, elolvastam.
Miért?
És az más.
De így ez szép lesz. De nem lehet lefordítani vers.
De nem baj. Azt tudom, hogy nem lehet, de ha akkor is le kell fordítani. Ha majd egyszer nem leszek,
Very good. Tök jó.
nem búcsúzom tőletek.
If I won't be here, I won't say goodbye.
A csend karjába ringatom magam, ott élek majd boldogan.
I'm gonna be in the peacefully, and I'm gonna be there, happiness and peace in a peaceful world.
Írjad körül.
I did, I'm sorry.
Rögtönözzél.
Te le tudod fordítani? Ott leszek, ott legbelül, hol a szeretet olykor elszenderül.
I will be there inside your heart.
Bánatomban a csendhez fordulok, és a szeretet hangján megszólalok.
In my sadness, I'm turning toward the peace and quietness and accept the love.
Én leszek a nap, mely rátok nevet.
And I will be the sun, what's shining on you.
Én leszek a vidám könnyetek.
I'm gonna be your happy tears.
A csend karjában ott leszek veletek.
I will be there when you're in your quiet home.
Ott leszek a madarak dalában.
I will be there when the birds singing.
Ott leszek a mezők illatában.
When you smell on the field full of flowers.
Ott leszek a zúgó patakokban, ott leszek minden pillanatban.
I will be there in the fast running rivers in every moment of your life.
Ha majd egyszer nem leszek, nem búcsúzom tőletek.
If I won't be here, I won't say goodbye.
És nem hagyom, hogy a szeretet, nem hagyom, hogy kihaljon a szeretet.
I want the love live forever.
És életre keltem, mindegy, hogy hol leszek.
And I will be what? Resurrect.
Úgyhogy elnézést kérek, hogy ugye nehéz ezt lefordítani.
And én kérek elnézést.
Semmi baj nem történt. Sőt, köszönjük.
De nekem ez erőt ad, hogy azt érzem, hogy itt van közöttünk.
Igen.
This is very helpful for them. They feel like Zoltan is here with us right now.
Úgyhogy köszönöm szépen még egyszer, hogy itt vannak velünk.
Thank you for everyone.
Köszönöm.
Thank you very much.
Well, how truly beautiful, what an incredible human you raised. That has been a blessing to all of us. God bless you and thank you for sharing. So I am going to do my best to share some fond memories and fun memories with my dear friend. And just share some stories from our time together at PMI Dallas. And thank you for the chance to honor my friend and pay my respects on behalf of our board. And he was such a treasure to our community. The first thing I'll say is there was not a single conversation any of us had with Zoltan, whether a board meeting, a gathering, or a social, where he wasn't beaming with pride and joy and love and talking about his family. When I finally met his boys, I said, I felt like I've known you for so long because Zoltan was always so proud, and I would see the photographs and the joy. You really were his whole world, and he loved you very much, and we all saw it. So the first thing we all knew about him was his love for his family. We knew not to schedule meetings in family time. We knew not to call during family movie time, and he set a much-needed example for all of us, and we loved it. Secondly, we all knew him and loved him for his sincerity, his authenticity, his integrity and leadership, his brilliant mind. And I saw him as a seeker of truth and someone with a lifelong love of learning. And he would always question things and look at multiple perspectives. In my 2 years as Vice President of Outreach on the PMI Dallas board, Zoltan was our Vice President of Finance. And I remember I approached him, I said, Zoltan, I've got this idea, we want to bring back this student scholarship program. You're our finance guy, do we have the budget, can we make it work? He said, this is immediately approved. We must do this. Our whole purpose is to give back to the community. The whole intent of this organization is to serve others. So he championed it with us wholeheartedly, with his heart to serve that you all know. And that's why moving forward, ongoing in PMI Dallas for years to come, when those of us that served with him are no longer there, this scholarship will remain in his name and his example. After I finished my 2 years as VP of Outreach, I had a little bit of burnout. If any of you volunteered in non-profits or not-for-profit, trying to help in the community and see how exhausting it is, oh yeah, you bond really quickly when you're on a board together. You sign up to help and all of a sudden you're like, what's all this other chaos that comes with that? Why did I even raise my hand to do this? But he pulled me aside, he said, hey, your 2 years are done. We need you to run for president now. We still need you. I said, excuse me? He said, we still need you. And he said, you run, and hey, you've got my vote, that's one vote. I said, but if I run, what if I win? Then I actually have to like do another 2 years, and then 2 years after that as past president. He said, I'm in it with you, and we're gonna make impact in this city together. So I ran, and by the grace of God, I was elected, and I started my term in January, and he was a champion and support. And it was not supposed to be like this. It's not supposed to be me here honoring my friend. We made plans for how to serve the community, and I wish he was here with me. But as Ardo so eloquently said, he is with us, and we're going to continue the work at PMI Dallas. That was our commitment to Zoltan and the inspiration he gave us. A couple of funny stories. We all knew him as a brilliant, kind, thoughtful, introverted, quiet board member. I'm not quiet. I'm from Iran, I'm Persian. We had Mary, who was from Brazil. I mean, we were always making noise, and then there was Zoltan. So we went to our Leadership Institute meeting training in Los Angeles the year before last. And it was a lot of intense training. At the end, they threw a massive party. And it was a disco, and it was a dance, huge dance party. And Zoltan looked at us at the board, and Natalia was there, May was there, many of our board members. He said, I don't dance. I am a European white guy. I do not consider myself as having rhythm. I will never, ever get on this dance floor. And we're all like, okay. So the music starts, he's watching us all, we get going. This is a truly global conference, and I will say Zoltan really has a heart for the world. He had more knowledge about Persian history than I did. Put me to shame, and I was born in Tehran and forced to go to Persian school in London my whole life as well, and he put me to shame. So we're all dancing, Zoltan's observing, and he sees the spirit of community and joy. All of a sudden we turn around, and in he runs to the middle of the dance floor, on fire with moves that we were like, dude, you literally are schooling us all, right? What is happening? Put us all to shame, all to shame. And the African chapter that he was admiring so much, that had phenomenal dance moves and rhythm, came over, tapped him on the shoulder. He said, hey, leave those guys, come dance with us. We want you in our African circle. He said, what? You think I can dance? He said, wait. He ran off the dance floor, but he said, Kimia, I have to leave for a moment. I have to call my wife and tell her that someone said I have rhythm. So you got that phone call? You ran off. So the following year, we had Lim again. This past year, it was in Phoenix. He was ready. He was the first one on the dance floor. He outlasted all of us. We went back to the hotel. We heard from him the next morning. He closed out the party. But it was great to see him just come alive and push himself to the limits and just participate in the joy. Joy, purpose, and intention. The other thing that I had a good chuckle with him about was he was about to turn 50. So he was a couple of years older than me, so I would tease him for it. And the introvert that he is, I would say, Zoltan, we're gonna have your birthday party so big. We're gonna blast your picture everywhere. every screen you can see, every advertisement, every PMI Dallas. We're going to blast all this music. He was listening to me with his sweet, kind face, eyes getting a little bit wider. Let me finish talking, and then just politely said, I'm good, thanks. No, I'm good, thanks. And of course I was joking. I would never put him on the spot like that, but it was a fun memory for me. He also joined us, he loved mentoring, as we've talked about, and he joined us to mentor and speak to our students at Dallas Baptist University, preparing them for career readiness in project management and in various fields. And I'll never forget how he connected with them from the stage. He shared his love of learning, and he was saying it's how important it is to question things, question life. Don't let anyone else form your opinions for you. Be educated. And then all of a sudden he shouts from the stage, read Nietzsche at Dallas Baptist University, and it was brilliant, and all of the students wanted him to be their mentor. When I released my album and when I had my book release, Zoltan was the type of friend that really celebrated you. He was the first ticket purchase to my concert and my book release. And he brought his lovely wife, and he stayed right till the end. And he always encouraged all the work I was doing and encouraged me to keep going. And in our last conversation, 2 days before he passed, I saw that he was at his most joy, with the most purpose, thinking about writing his own book, loving his studies, and just beaming with pride at the vacation he just had with his family. So he was really in a phenomenal place, inspiring all of us. So what I want to say in honor of my friend is, he will always be with us. We will continue the work we started. We were partners in crime and trying to bring change and bring impact. And to his family, we're here for you. I just want to encourage all of us in closing in what I'm sharing. I just came back from New York visiting a friend on the 1-year anniversary of her husband's sudden passing from a heart attack. And what she was struggling with was everybody was there for her the first few weeks. And then most people just stopped checking on her. And a year later, she was still grieving and felt isolated. But I came home to this community in comfort that that will not be us. We will not drop the ball on this family. We'll continue to keep them surrounded, because that's the kind of family they are. And that's Zoltan's legacy. We'll be there to celebrate your graduations, your weddings, your milestones in life. So I encourage all of us, 1, to honor Zoltan's memory and continue to make global impact. 2, to continue to share his love for his family. Thank you for allowing me to share, and Natalia, one of our board members, will come up next.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Natalia Fischer, and I know Zoltan for about probably 6 or 7 years, and we volunteered together at PMI Dallas chapter. So I have I would like to remember our dear friend Zoltan. Standing here today, it's not easy, because it's not easy to say goodbye to a person like Zoltan, who meant a lot to all of us. And it's also a privilege to celebrate a life that touches so many hearts. I had the honor of calling Zoltan a friend. So as I said, we volunteered for the chapter for probably 7 years, maybe longer, because we got on the board and became board members. We were just regular volunteers. We did our own work duty. So I started knowing him, what kind of person he is, when he was AVP Finance and I was AVP Communications. So we worked really close together. And then we became board members. Zoltan was the kind of person who made a lasting impression. Someone whose kindness, honesty, and warmth were felt by everyone who crossed his path. He had a remarkable way of making people feel valued, heard, and supported. We talked a lot. He wasn't very talkative, I can tell you. He was a very quiet person. But if you engage him in a conversation, he was talking. And he was sharing his ideas, plans. He loved to talk about his plans, what kind of he wanted to bring more volunteers in his finance group. He spoke a lot about the scholarship program that Kimia mentioned. He was incredibly passionate, supportive, and very excited about everything he was doing. And, you know, we had fun together, and we spoke about the chapter business. And we spoke about, you know, like personal lives, what we're doing, about kids, what kind of plans you're going to make. So Zoltan, he spoke a lot about his family, about kids, about plans, what kind of vacations he had, like in Europe, what he planned. He spoke about his life when he grew up in Hungary and his student life. I remember this conversation when we went to LIM in Los Angeles. And not very long time ago, he mentioned that he wants to go back and study. And I said, hey, I would like to do the same. And I said, what do you want to study? And he said, I want to study psychology. He was so excited when he enrolled at UTD for his program. And I asked him, so, are you going to study psychology? And he laughed and he said, no, next time. He has that kind smile on his face. These moments may seem small, but they're ones that stay with us forever. They're reminders of the beautiful impact Zoltan had in my life and the lives of many others. While we mourn this loss, we also celebrate a life well lived, a life filled with friendship, compassion, and love. And though Zoltan may no longer be with us physically, his spirit remains in our stories, our lives, and in the way we continue to care for one another. I want to thank Zoltan and Zoltan's family for his friendship, his kindness, and the joy he brought into our lives. Zoltan will be deeply missed, but never forgotten, and memory will live in my heart all the time. Thank you.
Love the Hungarian community, translating the poem together with several people's input. That I've always felt that Zoltan was really part of the community here. And I did not envision to come here like this. I was envisioning more adventures, more mountain biking, more hiking, more long, deep conversations. That's what we did all the time. In 2002, we met the first time. Kata and Zoltan came to Orlando in Florida, working for Nokia. I came with my family from Vienna, working for Nokia. And it took only a few days that I realized this is a very special person together with me, because he's definitely the most genuine, authentic person I've ever met. And so let me talk about Zoltan in maybe 3 words, like in candor, in care, and in curiosity. So when it comes to candor, let me be honest, because he was honest. So when I'm honest, then I can tell you, he went sometimes a bit too far. Have you heard that? Have you seen him like that? He was maybe off a little bit with the timing every now and then. That too. But so what? He was a human being, he made mistakes, but this honesty helped me grow. And that leads us to care. He was honest with a purpose. He was honest for a reason, because he wanted people to become better with their skills, but also with better people. So it's unbelievable how much I grew. Any difficult life decision I had to make, I discussed it with Zoltan. And he challenged me, he listened, he's this great listener. He's asking questions and asking more to really truly understand me. He's not telling me do this or do that. He was just really listening and helping me to learn and grow and see and become a better person. So that's the care part. But he not only helped other people to grow and become better, and we have heard that now over and over so far, he was the most curious person I've ever known. I mean, talking about podcasts and documentaries and movies and reading and more reading, doing certifications, his second MBA, he was just soaking it all up. And it wasn't just for like formal education. We had many conversations about the big questions. So what's the point? Why are we here? And where do we go? We asked often ourselves and talked about what happens if we die. Well, guess what? We didn't really get an answer to that, at least not one final one which we can really know. I know about you, you might be Christian or believe in a different God, so you might think you know what's going to happen afterwards. With Zoltan, we were unsure. We were not atheists. I don't think Zoltan was an atheist because he was too curious what could be out there. If you're like me, I'm not a Christian or a religion, I'm a spiritual person, which means I just believe there's more to the universe than we understand. There's something more out there. So let me tell you a little story from last weekend. I was sitting for hours and hours on Long Beach, south of LA, and it was dark. Nobody else was there, so the waves rolled in, and I was sitting in a safe distance from the waves. And then I closed my eyes, and I haven't been crying that much for the last, I wonder why I don't cry now. It's good, so I can talk. So the waves came in, but I was in a distance, and I closed my eyes, and I was with my memories. I was with Zoltan. And then, out of the nowhere, I was soaked, because the wave just came, and I didn't think it comes. In the very moment when I was soaked, I had this deep connection with Zoltan, because he also, I don't know if you know his mischievous side, and he was a little bit, his sarcastic humor, and so there he was, right? And then I doubt too. When I say spiritual, I don't know if it's true, but what was in me is I am now connected with Zoltan. So what are you telling me? I asked Zoltan. And so there comes this, well, it's good you grieve. All your tears are necessary. And there are going to be way, way more tears for the next weeks and months. Anytime I think of him, I have to cry, usually. And then he said, but there's joy. There is, what is it in Hungarian? The crying? Cserni? Cserni. And then there is the laughing? Nevetni. Yeah. Well, I had to look that up. He didn't speak in Hungarian with me because we usually speak in English. But that really came through. But again, I'm a doubter. So I doubted, well, that maybe it's just in my mind, right? It's just a wave coming in. Yeah, every now and then the waves, they're building up and then they come when you don't expect them. In that very moment, when I was thinking about this crying and this laughing, and that this is what life is, bang, there was a huge boom, and there was a firework going up, and it wasn't really a firework, it was one single flare, like this. I was scared like shit, because it just came out of nowhere. But it was this, really, two of these coincidences, first a wave coming in, which I didn't expect because I was sitting far away, and then exactly when I think, am I or am I not connected with him, then comes this, right? So I truly believe, I don't believe because my thoughts always doubt, but I could feel there is some connection to his spirit. There is a spirit out there. Well, I wanted to share with you that, although I'm not 100% sure, because I am doubting it, it keeps going and going, but I could really, really feel him so intensely. And I want to finish, or I want to say one more thing. Looking at the family, I've spent with Zoltan hundreds of hours, right? Because mountain bike trips, hiking trips, week-long or 5-day-long conversations, not only in the evenings, but also on the hikes, we just kept talking, and how often he talked about you. So I can tell you, through him telling me, how much he respected and honored and loved his parents, and obviously how much he loved, how often he talked about the 2 boys and the kata and the love he has for you. And you see, this is, I thought I won't be able to speak because I cried for the last 3 weeks since I've heard that, at least 100 times a day. Maybe I'm right now out of tears. I just know. Maybe I have to look at him in his picture. Man, everybody talks about his smile, but what about his eyes? What about his eyes? If you look into his eyes, it's just, there's so much love. I really, really love you, Zoltan, and I always will, because you stay with me in my memories, in my heart. You are staying in my heart. And then also in these many, many ways, you helped me to change and to become better.
So, as altered 2006 or 7 on an Atlanta business trip. My name is Jeff Shipley, by the way. And, we worked in similar jobs and crossed paths often. And then in 2009, 10, 11, 12, well, for a long time, we worked on the same programs and lots of same jobs. And spent lots of time together, and then they were gracious, had us over to their house when the boys were even young, and goulash and good times. And when I think, about Zoltan, we're all talking about his character. He's really funny, so I'm going to echo a lot of what was already said. But I think of Palinka and drinking on the porch in Atlanta. But the real word that kind of comes to mind is depth. And he thought deeply, and he cared and he loved deeply. And I think he was able to do this because he was uniquely introspective. And he took a lot of time to educate himself. Well, let me put it this way. He was a man searching his own self, beliefs, and motives to see where they were lacking and where he could improve. And he found, and he just wanted to be on the right track. And he wanted to gain new insights and figure out what the truth was. He didn't do it judgmentally. He never judged anything. But as Brenner said, he's constantly questioning and recycling it and seeing if it holds water. And he's always searching into philosophers and books and studying and podcasts, and he wanted to talk about them, and he wanted to figure out if they were what I thought, and bounced the ideas off, and never met anybody like that. So, deep conversations, as said, that, carry into the night and trying to answer the big questions. As mentioned, he was intellectually more well-read, better traveled, and had more insight than anyone, most likely, as he spoke to them. But he made you feel important. He built you up. He was measured in how he spoke, and he was self-assured and in a humble way that only a really intelligent, humble person can be. I know a lot of us feel this way. He never made you feel like just a work friend or a casual acquaintance. He looked you in the eye when he spoke to you, and what was most important is he tried to feel what you were feeling. In friendships, he sought you out. He called. He made the plans. He asked you to lunch, followed up. He remembered what you last talked about. Sorry. He did everything, as mentioned, he planned, he executed. He did it with everything in his life. He had purpose and drive. And, I confided in him. I came to him in my lowest moments and trusted his opinion. He helped me. He didn't hesitate. He never, made me feel like he was just a good man. And when he did all these things, all this educating and all this self-reflection, I wasn't going to mention it, but he would do those personality tests at work, we have to do those. And he would send them to me. And he asked me to send me his, and we would talk about it, and he would want to know, is this really what I'm like? Is this really, this bad trip? How can I improve myself, And he was painfully blunt with mine and be like, yeah, that nails it, you got to work on that. But I wrote here that I think he forced himself out of his own shell, not for himself, but so he could be a better husband, father, friend, coach, confidant, and for other people. He grew for himself, but he did it with the purpose of being better for others. He never said anything mean about anyone. He was just a great person. We're all very lucky to have known him, and he changed our lives, and we'll all be strive to be more like him in many ways, I think. Okay, I was asked to see if anyone else wanted to step up to the podium. So feel free, we'll take a minute if you want to come up, say some memory or story you want to do, and then I think there's a few more things on the agenda, but let's give it a minute and see if anybody wants to come up. Thanks.
Gone too soon, yet everlasting. He walked this world with steady grace, a quiet strength, a fearless face. In every step, in all he gave, he showed a kind of soul so brave. Too soon the call, too swift goodbye. A question whispered, why? Oh, why? Yet thought his years were far too few, he lived them full, he lived them true. He left his mark in hearts and minds, in gentle words, in selfless kinds. A legacy no time can fade, in love and light his memory stays. We mourn the days he'll never see, the dreams that were not meant to be, but greater still, the gift he gave, the lives he touched, the love he made. So let us not just weep in pain, but carry forth what will remain. His courage, warmth, his way of being, a life so bright, still worth believing. Gone from sight, but not from soul, for love like his outlives the whole. And though too young, his story stands, a great man held in greater hands.
The little girl, she said to me, each night when I come to see, each night when I come home from school, when Mama calls me in for tea, oh, every night a baby dies, every night a mama cries. What makes those men do what they do, to make that person black and blue? Grandpa says, they're happy now. They sit with God in paradise, with angels breathe, and still somehow it makes me feel like I
it's so. So do I tell her that it's true, that there's a place for me and you, where hungry children smile and say, we wouldn't have no other way, that every painful crack of bones is a step along the way. Every wrong done is a game plan to that great and joyful day. And I'm looking at the Father and the Son, and I'm looking at the Mother and the daughter. And I'm watching them in tears of pain, and I'm watching them suffer. Don't tell that little girl, tell me. Tell me there's a heaven, tell me that it's true. Tell me there's a reason why I'm seeing what I do. Tell me there's a heaven where all those people go. Tell me they're all happy now. Papa, tell me that it's so.
Thank you, everybody, for all the love and the support, the treasured memories in the room. We're now going to go next door. Gabby, and would you like to come and give Janet? No. Yes. So who will be leading the way so that we can follow out? After the family. Okay. Thank you all. It's very difficult to keep composure and remember facts in an emotional state. So please join us to go outside, and then after that there'll be some time for refreshments. Right. Thank you all.
Let's get the family going first, and we're going to follow them to the gravesite to bury Zoltan Cserni.